At some point, COVID-19 should reach an endemic phase, but what exactly does that mean? First, it's important to understand the definition of two other related words, pandemic and epidemic. An epidemic describes an occurrence of disease in a particular community or place that is new or higher than normal. A recent example is the Zika outbreak in Brazil in 2015. Yellow fever, smallpox, measles, and polio are also examples of epidemics that occurred throughout history. A pandemic is an epidemic that's growth rate skyrockets and spreads across the globe. Population immunity and disease severity have nothing to do with whether or not a virus is declared a pandemic. It just means that the virus in question covers a wide area and affects several countries and populations. An endemic disease is one that is always present in the population, usually with manageable case numbers that don't change over time. This makes the disease spread and rates more predictable. For example, malaria is endemic to certain regions of Africa. Pandemics end in one of three ways. First, by eradication, which is the permanent reduction of new cases to zero by stopping all transmission through surveillance and containment. This has only ever happened once with smallpox in 1980. The second way is through elimination, which is the reduction of cases to an identified target with occasional outbreaks. Measles was on the verge of elimination in Europe and the US at the end of the last century until vaccination levels dropped and the disease sprung back. Elimination is possible only with highly effective vaccines that provide lasting immunity, large-scale vaccination programs in every country, intensive global disease monitoring, and vigorous response to local outbreaks. The third way a pandemic can end is by the disease becoming endemic, with cases at a relatively constant level that allows society to function. It took 20 years for AIDS to turn from a pandemic to an endemic disease, largely through the development of treatments. COVID-19 would remain deadly as an endemic disease, with periodic outbreaks likely among the unvaccinated, and a continuing threat of new variants as the virus continues to mutate. How quickly it becomes endemic and how deadly those outbreaks would be depends on how the virus mutates and how governments, scientists, and individuals act in response.